Welcome to the Beer Den Podcast. Tonight we're going to be drinking Spotted Cow from New Glarus, Wisconsin.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Beer Den. My name is Ethan Hoopy.
And I'm Michael LaRoe. Tonight we're drinking the Spotted Cow from New Glarus Brewing Company up in New Glarus, Wisconsin.
All right.
A little background on them. They started, it was a couple, Danielle and Deb Carey, back in 1993. He's a master brewer, did his apprenticeship over in Belgium, I think is what it was.
Oh, wow.
She's an entrepreneur, businesswoman, and they just fused both their talents together and started this brewery up, and they are only in Wisconsin. Like, they don't sell outside of Wisconsin.
Oh, really? So you have to, so we got this from Wisconsin.
This was literally smuggled across 4 states. So, yeah, their philosophy, 100% natural ingredients, and again, only in Wisconsin. Let's get into it, because I am excited.
Yeah,
for
I know
this
you've
one.
been excited about this one.
Waiting all week to crack this open, and now is that time.
Yeah, right off the bat, the smell is just, it's really mellow. It's nice and tame.
I get a kind of a sour smell to it. Almost maybe even a sour taste. But a good sour. Kind of like just a sour ale.
There definitely seems to be something extra there that you don't get from most beers.
So it kind of has it's a fruity aroma. Not super resiny. I'd say fruity, little bit citrus. So it's got a good color. It's kind of like a straw gold. It's pretty hazy, actually. I've seen ones in the past, if you put your hands on the other side of the glass, you can make out the shape, but you can't make out the definition of it.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with the citrusy smells. Yeah, no, I really like it, though.
It's kind of got a grainy malt taste to it.
But I'm noticing a lot of sweetness in it.
Mm-hmm. It's not really dry. It's creamy. I think it's creamy.
You think it's creamy? I was going to say, is it coating your mouth when you drink it? Because that's kind of what I'm getting with it.
I've had ones that kind of coat better.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not getting it. It's
not
thick.
A huge thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But it is kind of on the front end of it. I'd say it's a little stingy. But it's not it could just be. It's not overly carbonated.
Yeah.
Because it's almost that's kind of the feel you get. Is it feels really carbonated on the front end,
mm-hmm.
but it's not. So it's kind of just that tingly kind of mouth feel to it.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
But it goes away quickly.
I think it has really good flavor, though. Do you think that this is something that you would drink? Is this more of a summer beer?
I think this would be a great beer at the end of a hard day's work out in the field,
mm-hmm.
to come in and drink one of these.
So is this the this is the farmhouse? What is it called?
Yep, they classify it as a farmhouse ale.
Okay.
Which farmhouse ales typically are kind of based on Belgian ales.
Yeah.
Are pretty similar to that.
Yeah, I know that they're, because the Saison style beers are more, they're more refreshing. They're not really supposed to be sweet, but I'm pretty sure the farmhouse style is more of an Americanized version, which has a bit more sweetness to it.
Yeah, and this definitely has sweetness to it.
Yeah.
Very reserved on the bitterness, not hoppy at
all. Oh yeah,
all.
Not at all. Yeah, you can't tell any hops are even in here, but I'm assuming there are. Very mellow. Yeah, the biggest thing that I get from this is refreshing. That word just keeps coming to mind. that, yeah, I would drink this. If you had to do some yard work, if you had to go out, do some work outside, this is something you would want out there with you because it's refreshing. It's going to take the edge off of the heat, you know.
It does have a really nice flavor.
Yeah, no, I definitely like it.
I think after a hard day of any work, this would just be a good one just to kick back a few and relax.
Even office work.
Especially office work. Come home after a long 8-hour day. Crack one of these puppies open. So we base everything off of 3 categories. Quality out of 50 points. That's the appearance, the aroma, anything that
relates to just
any
flavor,
characteristic of it. Exactly.
Yeah, it's the overall quality.
Then we have 25 points for the value, and that's tied in a little bit with the quality. If we score it higher on quality and then based on price, we go on a baseline about $10 for a 6-pack of it, whether it gets more or less points. And then finally, 25 points for design. That's bottle or can, labeling, name, colors, all that fun stuff that goes along with any design aspect of it.
Yep.
So that's out of 100 points. So interestingly enough, a 6-pack of the Spotted Cow, $7.49.
What?
Hey everyone, this is Future Michael here. We actually made a mistake on the price in the podcast. We said it was 7 something for a 6-pack. It's actually $9.49 for a 6-pack. This does end up affecting the overall score, which at the end of the podcast we'll cut in again like this and update you on the change score. Again, sorry for the inconvenience that this might have caused. We will rectify it. Yeah. Less than $8 for a 6-pack of this.
Come again?
Granted, you do have to go all the way to Wisconsin to get it, which is a bit of a jaunt for us.
Yeah, so I guess if you factor in gas, then I don't know, it probably brings it up a little bit, but...
I mean, in my honest opinion right now, worth it.
Yeah, no joke.
So $7.49 for a 6-pack of this. And that, to me, that's just insane, because, I mean, that's like your Budweiser, Coors Light price point right there.
Yeah, for sure.
And this is way better. So yeah, keep that in mind when you're judging that. So let's go to design. So for me, a 25 in this category, it's got to have pretty good colors that set it apart from another beer on the shelf.
Yeah, it needs to pop.
It's got to have a name that fits the beer, fits the coloring, fits the label. I like to see a description of the beer on the bottle. I like to see the alcohol content on it. I like to see a main body label and a label that's up on the neck of the bottle. And this one hits almost all those points.
It's almost there.
Yeah, what it is missing is it doesn't have the alcohol content. And I actually didn't find that in my research. I'm sure somebody would know it and could tell us.
The only other thing that I would say about it is that the imagery on it probably doesn't really coincide with the experience of drinking it, because it kind of has nothing to do with drinking it. It does have a lot to do with Wisconsin, but yeah, that's just one of those things that, like, I mean, aesthetics of, like, the bottles and everything, should that really come into whether or not you purchase it? Maybe. But, I mean, I guess, like, if you didn't know what this was and you were just looking on the shelf, it definitely hurts it. You know, there's, like, a cow on it, like, just kind of jumping over a outline of Wisconsin. Like, it just doesn't really flow, I guess, with the actual taste of it or anything like that. Nevertheless, though, like, I mean, the beer is so good, though. But that's just something that for me, I think, is going to hurt it. I mean, obviously, like I know that a big thing for you is the description, and boy, does it have a description.
Yes, it does. It's a paragraph.
Yeah, no joke.
And it goes in about how it's artesian brewed and bottled and hardworking employees. Actually, that's a valid point for New Glarus Brewing Company. It is employee owned, so it's. And really? I think that's just kind of a Wisconsin thing. I mean, even the Packers they're owned by the fans, and
yeah,
I don't know. Even the colors on this kind of reflect that. Like it's that gold and green coloring.
Oh yeah, I didn't even make the association, but yeah, you're right.
So one thing with the labeling, I agree. Like having the cow on there, it's kind of like I get cows, farms, farmhouse ale.
Yeah.
I mean,
I get what they're trying to do, and it probably works a lot better in Wisconsin. But yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't.
I think they could have done better. I like the name. I like Spotted Cow. It's a unique name. It's
ties everything back into Wisconsin,
mm-hmm.
Wisconsin cows and everything. But
Wisconsin cows, Wisconsin cheese curds. Now I just want cheese curds. But I think they could have maybe made a better like tie into Farmhouse Ale with it.
Yeah.
I'm not a graphic designer. I don't know exactly how, but the cow matches the name. I just don't necessarily. Maybe the green fields. I mean that could be. Yeah. Maybe we're stretching, but
I don't know. Yeah.
I do like it. I like the name. The cow matches the name. It's a cool looking cow. It's a cow jumping over Wisconsin.
There you go.
But
who needs more than that?
Exactly. Who needs more than that? But it doesn't have the alcohol content on it. So I actually gave it a 24 because to me,
really, this
is almost exactly what I want it to be when I see a beer bottle. Like it has both labels, has a unique name. Right there, it has the brewery name on it, has a description of the beer, and not even just like this is a raspberry ale, but here's like this whole paragraph about not only the beer that you're about to drink, but a little bit about the company too. So if you were to go to some place that lets you build a 6-pack and you pick this up, they've got their bases covered because you're going to be like, oh, this company sounds cool. Maybe they have some other stuff.
Yeah, which then gets you kind of looking at what else they have in the store. And like, it's just such a good way to introduce your company to the customer.
Plus bonus points, it even has a link to their website on it. So like then you even know like just off the bottle, if you find this somewhere of, okay, I'll go to their website and check it up. I don't even have to Google search New Glarus Brewing Company. Right there on the label is their website. It's damn near perfect.
It's really close.
Value, I mean, right now this is a 5-star beer for me. I gave it a 25.
Wow.
To me, flavor wise, this is great. And at $7.49 a 6-pack, I mean, we have a baseline of $10. I don't think you could get below $7.50.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Yeah, you're kind of right. Like, just the price, the value there is just ridiculous. Like, I don't know what else you can even compare it to that is in that price range. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, for me, yeah, I think I'm going to give it a 25 as well. I think it just, the quality of it is pushing it over the edge. That, even at the price point, if it was any less quality, I'd probably give it a 24. Just the price is too good. And if it was any less quality, it'd be a 24. But just that combination, I think, gives it the 25.
Like I said, I think you can't get much cheaper. The fact that it's not even $7.99, because I mean, at $8 a 6-pack, I'm like, okay, that's probably good enough for a 23, 24. I mean, this is 50 cents below that, and it's good stuff.
Yeah. So as far as quality, did you say what you gave it for quality?
I gave it a 45. I mean, there's always room for improvement. Yeah. So I don't know if I'll ever give anything a 50, unless it absolutely like knocks my socks off. But this one, I can't find anything to complain about.
Yeah.
I mean, the aromas of it, nice and balanced. It's not overly bitter. There's a nice balance between the hops and the malt. It's good flavor. It's refreshing.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. So what's your total?
So overall, I scored it at a 94.
Wow. No, yeah. I'm actually really close to that. I already said that I'm going to give it a 25 for value. As far as quality, I gave it the exact same thing, a 45, sorry. So I think we're right in line with that. The only thing that I was scored it a little bit lower with was the design. For me, the correlation between the design, the actual artwork on the bottle, and kind of your experience drinking, I would have liked to see something a bit more artistic, maybe, really show that kind of connection that it's like, this is a refreshing beer. If they had something like that, I probably would have also given it, a much higher score then. So I went with 22, which is still an amazing design score. Mm-hmm. But in total, I guess I am at a 92 for the beer.
Wow. So that's a 93 average out of 100.
Hey everybody, Future Ethan here. So as Future Michael said earlier, the overall score was affected by the price difference. So we both dropped our scores for value down to 22, which ended up bringing the overall score down to a 90, which is still really good. Again, we apologize for messing up the price. Now back to the podcast.
That's
insane.
That's top tier gold star.
Yeah, it's definitely our highest one yet that we've reviewed, and
if you want it, you got to go to Wisconsin because they stick to it. You can't get it in Minnesota. You can't get it in Illinois. You have to go into Wisconsin to get it. And
it might just be worth the drive.
I mean, honestly, we're in Ohio. It's worth it. Definitely, if I'm ever going through Wisconsin, I'm stopping and getting as much as I can.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's an impressive beer. To have this quality of beer at that lower price. The only thing is, so you never found the alcohol content?
I didn't.
See, that's the only thing I would like to know is actually what its alcohol by volume is. Because if it's sitting, I mean, just kind of tasting it, I don't know. I don't want to put it maybe around in the 4s, but
It actually is. So I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
And it is 4.8%.
That's not bad. I was hoping for in the 5s, but because I feel like that's like a good APV. Mm-hmm. But yeah, 4.8, right? Is that right?
Yep, 4.8.
Yeah, no, I like that.
That's pretty solid.
93 overall?
93 overall.
Yeah, I think it's worth it.
I didn't think it would go that high. That's pretty impressive.
It definitely deserves it.
That's what's nice about our system is Ethan and I, we both have different tastes. I'm a little bit more towards IPAs than he is. And so when we get, it has to be a really good IPA for both of us to really like it. But when we do get a beer that we both enjoy, it's a little bit more for the masses beer. I mean, it's amazing what it can do. This is just a good beer.
This is it's just something that I could easily pick this up, any day and drink it and be happy with it. Yeah. I would even feel confident giving this to anybody. Even somebody who doesn't drink that much beer. This is like the perfect introduction into beer.
Yeah.
Because it's such a refreshing drink and it's so mellow that, it's not going to overwhelm them. But at the same time, they get really good flavors. Yeah, I'm really impressed with it.
I think so far this is probably the most craft beer that we've had so far too, just because it's exclusive to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a small family employee owned brew that is just I'm still blown away. And honestly, I'm out. I'm ready to go get another one. How about you?
I'm ready too. Let's go do it. Oh man. Have you ever thought about how like people on TikTok, like most of them are in high school. Well, or younger. And like they post these things and then they have to go to school the next day and like face people. Like then again, I guess we posted videos too that some would say were a little embarrassing.
Yeah, but we also didn't have to worry about people seeing them because nobody followed us.
Well, that too.
We were in a different time though. I mean, yeah, YouTube was around, but people didn't really. We are recording this. Look at you, you sly bastard.
Do you need help over there? Jesus Christ.
Dude, wireless... Okay, sidetrack here. Wireless chargers, they're awesome. But, I mean, it's so hard to get it, like, where it needs to be to charge on the damn thing.
Dude, there's one that I saw that was just... It was a pad that when you put your phone down on it, it, like... lights up this, like, I don't even know what they're called. Fucking...
Is it like a landing strip?
No, it was like a demonic sigil. Like,
oh man. Okay, that took a turn.
Like a I don't even like not like I mean it wasn't demonic, but it was like a
sounds pretty demonic.
God damn it.
Do you want demons? That's how you get demons.
Yeah, pretty much. But it was just really cool. Like it lit it up in this really like awesome crazy way and stuff. And like but yeah,
that'd be kind of nice because right now I just kind of throw it on there and
like a little light comes on.
Once the light's on, I'm like, all right, don't touch it anymore because it's not going to charge.
I've had issues with the one by my bed that like I've like put it on there. I'll put it on there, and then I don't know how, but it must get like nudged, and then like it's not charging all night.
I've noticed that with mine recently too.
Yeah.
Is that I'll put it on there and it lights up, says it's charging, good to go. I'll come back like a half hour, and they're supposed to be the fast charging bases.
Yeah.
And it's like gone up maybe 3%. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It sucks, but
what are you gonna do? What were we talking about before? TikTok people. Okay. So we were in like when we were posting videos on YouTube, it was like the early stages of YouTube. So like there wasn't as much of a following now. I mean, just like TikTok, like the high school kids that post stuff on there, they just, to them, 10,000 likes or 10,000 followers, like that's nothing.
We've talked about that before, about how like 20 likes back when we were in high school, was insane. Like, that was a huge deal. And now 20 likes is nothing. That's like, hey, I just went to Chipotle and you get 20 likes on it. It's fucking nothing. And I mean, I seriously remember a time where it's like, when I got like 10 likes on one comment, on like one post, I was like, holy shit, I'm popular. And it's like now, if you don't get fucking 30, you're irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
Yeah.
Do you have Time Hop?
No, I don't.
Or Facebook Memories or any of those?
I have something. I will every once in a while see like an old post, but very rarely. Like I know you have brought up ones that I would never have seen. Like, usually the only ones I see are like big event ones.
Gotcha. If you ever want something that's just going to make you cringe, look at a Facebook post from 10 years ago.
Yeah. No.
And
this is
what's kind of funny about it too is they don't change it to like the format. So like when Facebook first came out or whatever, it used to be like your name is doing something. And you could fill in the whatever it was you were doing. So it's like, oh, Michael LaRoe is going to the movies. And back then, like, it wasn't out of the ordinary. Like, that was your normal Facebook post.
Yeah.
Nobody
It was
thought
just like
anything
whatever
of it.
you were doing that day.
You go back on Time Hop and you see Michael LaRoe is going to the movies, and it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, did you really find it that relevant that you had to post that you were going to the movies? Nobody cares.
Like, well, and maybe that's the whole idea, is that, like, back then, that was why you only got 10 fucking likes on something, was because who gives a shit?
Right.
Like, yeah, I do remember there was, like, a long stint where what people posted was just the most mundane things about their lives, but it was, like, nonstop. It was every mundane thing about your life.
Mm-hmm.
And I never understood that. I mean, I tried to be a part of it, I think, just to try to, like, fit in, but, like...
It's tedious.
Yeah, it really is. Because, like, I've never thought my life was very interesting. I mean, I know that we've heard from other people that they think that what we do is interesting. But I've never felt like anything we do. I feel like I'm bored all the time.
Our life is average.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, shit. If we would have posted half the stuff that we were doing, like, I'm sure we would have had people like, "What the fuck?" They are like, these are the most interesting people in the world because they're like going off and doing little adventures and shit all the time. But that's like all we did. But at the time, we thought that was like...
That was just normal for us.
It's a Tuesday. Let's fucking drive to Fort Wayne for no reason and just see what we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it wasn't absurd to just hop in the car, go somewhere, not knowing what we're going to do once we get there, but have, like, a general idea, and then, like, that was it. And, like, yeah, I in a way, I really miss those times where we just, like, just went off and was like, hey, let's go into the woods and just see what we do. See what happens. Maybe we'll find a dead body.
I've actually, I think it was last year, 2 years ago. I kind of found a dead body. I was walking through the woods. I was looking for morel mushrooms. And, I just happened upon a carcass of a deer. Like, it was just like the bones. Like, it was just kind of, it was interesting because it was like the full skeleton was there. And I was like, oh.
It was in the middle of a woods?
Just in the middle of my woods.
Okay.
Yeah. That's I imagine like some hunter shot it and then where it like finally died, like they just couldn't find it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I took the skull from it. So I've got a deer skull now.
What? That's gross.
Yeah. It is what it is. It's pretty cool. I liked it.
The dog chews on it now.
Yeah, no antlers. I was hoping to get some antlers out of it. No morels either. So, morels.
Yeah, you may want to explain what a morel is because I only vaguely know.
I'm sure people know. Those things they're insanely sought after. Like, around here, they go for about $40 a pound.
That's insane.
Yeah.
For a mushroom?
For a mushroom.
That's
and these
stupid.
things, I've yet to have one. I've yet to find one. But I'm looking forward to the day when I finally do, because these things are supposed to be like ambrosia of the gods good.
So, I mean, how big are they? Like, how many would you have to find in order to find like a pound of them?
It just ranges. I mean, I don't know how like legit the pictures are, but I've seen them like as big as people's forearms.
Good lord. I wouldn't even touch that thing. I'd fucking burn it with like a flamethrower. Like that would be terrifying.
That'd be such a waste.
I mean, well,
one of those is probably worth like $120.
That's ridiculous.
But people, like, it's crazy because around here, like, when people find their spots for them, like, they won't tell anybody.
Well, yeah,
because
for
like
sure.
they'll just go year after, and they're so hit or miss. Like, they could be there for like 10 years, and then you could go back on the 11th year, and they're just not. Like, they're crazy, and they're hard to grow yourself. And
yeah,
but I want to try them, and like they're really easy to cook. You just like wash them in like a saltwater brine to get like any dirt and bugs out.
Yeah.
From there, you just like saute them in like a pan of butter, and God, they're supposed to be so good. Like the way people talk about them, and like the people that are actually out there, like just like avidly hunting for them, yeah. Like they're the truffles of the mushroom world.
Jesus, get a pig out there.
Yeah,
start looking.
We need a Morel pig.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've never really liked mushrooms, so it's definitely lost on me. But I don't know.
I love mushrooms.
I just can't imagine, like, oh, I just ate this fungus and it's the best shit ever. Oh my god, it's so good.
You just can't. You can't think of it like that.
How do you not? It like looks gross. Like, even, like, normal mushrooms, like, you cut that shit and it's just, like, dense. And, like, I don't know. It just, like, looks weird. And, like, I can only imagine the, like, the feeling in your mouth. Like, ugh. No, thank you.
They're meaty. Like, there's meat to it.
That doesn't make me feel better.
Have you ever had, like, a portobello burger?
No.
Oh, man.
Goddamn savage.
I would eat those almost over an actual ground beef patty. Almost.
That's stupid.
Oh.
No, thank you.
All right, I get maybe that's a little extreme, but they are good. Like, definitely worth a try, if nothing else.
I mean, maybe in burger form would be the only way that you could possibly get me to like try a mushroom.
I'm gonna make you a portobello burger sometime. I love them.
What do you put on a portobello mushroom burger? I mean,
the same thing as a normal burger.
Just ketchup, fucking mustard, and
well, okay, maybe not that.
Like that's what you put on a burger. What are you putting on burgers?
I mean, if you have a really good seasoned burger, you really don't need that stuff.
You don't like.
So like when
but we're talking about like a mushroom here, like,
right? And so like okay,
I feel
so
like I need twice the
usually
amount of
it has
ketchup.
like maybe like a balsamic vinegar, like on it, or like olive oil.
Who are you?
It's oh man, they're so good. No, don't knock it till you try it. Just like butt sex. Speaking of no. How do you eat sloppy joes?
How do
okay, so there's a
okay.
I know. Good segue, right?
Yeah.
Butt sex to sloppy joes. It's a messy job, both of them.
Both of them.
So do you
Yes.
So all right. Do you like knife and fork it?
No.
So you could either do you put like bread down and then a lot of sloppy joes and then more bread and then a lot of sloppy joe on top and then knife and fork it? Or do you try to make a sandwich so then like you put a little bit in the middle so that you can actually have the sandwich without it spilling all out and making a huge mess?
I'm probably somewhere in the middle. I mean, it's a sandwich. I'm going for a sandwich, but usually I like go overboard with it. So like a lot's falling out, but so I don't knife and fork it. I don't know
things that you never thought about, but are important to discuss. So for me, it depends on the situation. Like
I've never even heard of using a knife and fork with a sloppy joe.
Oh, dude, you're not living.
Like, to me, a sloppy joe is a sandwich. So, I don't know.
But you have all that delicious sloppy joe-ness. Like, like double the amount. Still, like, you still get the bread, but, like, you just get twice as much meat. Oh,
why not just have a plate of sloppy joe then? Like, forfeit the bread. Just fucking dig into that shit.
You gotta have the bread.
I don't know. That actually doesn't sound too bad. So.
Yeah, dude. It's good. I mean, then if you want to get fancy, you could sprinkle some shredded cheese on there, and
well, let's not get crazy here.
Actually, that sounds really good right now. Some good old comfort food.
I don't know. I'm a sloppy Joe purist. I don't know if I could go for. Well, I mean, it's cheese. Of course I'm going to do it, but like I don't know. I like my sloppy Joes like plain Jane, I guess.
I might have to try it. Just no bread. I want to cut out carbs.
Like, Godspeed.
It's ridiculously hard though. I mean, carbs are in everything.
Anything good.
Yeah, pasta's delicious. Yeah. Pizza's good.
Bread's delicious.
Yeah, but there's I tried something last weekend. It was keto coffee. Keto. Keto. Keto coffee.
Keto.
And it's supposed to help keep you in ketosis.
Mm-hmm.
There's an additive you can use in it that has like 8 servings of fruits and vegetables, and it's supposed to be just like ridiculously good for you. You substitute it, so it's the coffee itself is based off like bulletproof coffee, which is just black coffee, butter, and butter.
You're losing me.
Grass-fed butter. And,
wait, what? Grass-fed butter?
Yeah, like grass-fed cows.
Oh, okay.
And then you make butter out of it.
You don't feed butter grass, so that threw me off.
You don't know butter.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's literally black coffee, butter, and like coconut oil.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a lot of calories.
Yeah.
But it's no
like the
carbs.
Good kind of calories.
Yeah, supposedly. I mean, you're only supposed to have like 1 cup of it a day. Mm-hmm. Substitute a meal, so like substitute breakfast for this. Downside is you don't get a lot of your macronutrients.
I have no idea what that means.
Those are, I mean, I guess I don't either. But
you don't get enough of them.
You wouldn't get, so you're getting very specific nutrients out of it.
Yeah.
Versus say you had like 2 eggs, avocado, and toast, you're going to get a broader spectrum of nutrients out of that.
We're going and getting food after this, right?
I know, I'm starting to get a little hungry. But yeah, I'm thinking about trying that out. Like I said, I want to cut out carbs because I've kind of got on this like carbs are the devil kind of thing, but they're so delicious, and like it seems impossible to cut them out of your diet because they're so prevalent in everything.
Yeah.
Everything delicious.
Pretty much. Like, that's the thing is that, like, kind of my philosophy as far as, like, dieting or, like, any form of trying to get healthier, whether it's, like, exercise or dieting or whatever, it has to be sustainable. If you're not doing something that's sustainable, then you might as well not even do it, because you're going to do it for 2 weeks and then you're going to stop and you're, so what was that? Like, why even do it? If you're doing something that's sustainable, it may not be as effective as what it could be, but at least you're going to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing is, like, I mean, that's kind of been that's how I've succeeded as much as I have as far as, like, weight loss and stuff, is just because I don't look at it as I'm going to lose it in a week. Fuck that. Like, I'm going to lose it when I lose it. So if I can make the better choices, and if I can keep doing that and not get off track, then that's all I care about.
Mm-hmm. I
just care about keeping doing it. And even if you go off a little bit, always come back on, and that's kind of the problem with, like, the ketosis thing. A lot of these, like, more extreme diets is, I feel like if you have a lot of willpower, they can be very effective. And don't get me wrong, like, keto diet is, like, it's really popular right now because it's so effective. People can lose a lot of weight doing it. Mm-hmm. You can get shredded just like, by losing all that weight and stuff. But
just by eating steaks on every meal.
Yeah. You know,
sounds like a perfect diet,
right? But the thing is like, I mean, I think for most people who do try it, they think like, oh man, all I gotta do if I'm on it for like a month and then I'll get down, you know, however much weight and stuff like that, and they'll be on it for a week and be like, this is insane, and then they'll start making like shoot, what's the word I'm trying to think of?
I'm just watching the seconds count down as you try to think of the word.
Trying to think of it. They'll start making compromises. It took me that long.
That was like 18 seconds.
They'll start making compromises, and eventually they'll just be off of it. And like, yeah, I just think that that's something that people need to make sure that they take into consideration. Is this something that you're going to be able to do for as long as you need, or as long as you want to do it to get the results? But
a lot of people that get like the those weight loss surgeries, that's something they think like, okay, I'm going to get this surgery, I'm going to lose all this weight because of it, and I'm going to go right back to the same habits I had before. And what they find is they end up ballooning back up to the weight they were before the surgery.
Yeah.
Just because like if you don't change your lifestyle and the habits, you're going to just go right back to that.
I think that that's kind of the key, is that you have to change your lifestyle, because doing something temporary is just going to make the weight loss temporary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so, yeah.
One thing that I do, like, so I don't have the discipline and the self-control when it comes to food. And so, like, for me, I'm at least self-aware. And so it's like, okay, don't put it in the house. So, like, I don't buy pop, because if I do, it becomes a race to, like, drink it all.
Oh, yeah.
I don't buy bags of chips because I will eat the entire bag of chips in one sitting.
Yeah.
Especially, you give me, like, French onion dip. Oh, man. Sour cream for them.
Oh, my God.
Whole thing's gone. So, I don't buy those things. I don't like candy in the house, because if it is, it's, all right, it'll be like the little ones. Give me like 5 of those things. I can't stop at one Reese's cup. I have to have the whole sleeve of a king-size pack.
Candy for me is that. Like, if I were to get a bag of Twizzlers, it's gonna be gone. It'll just, like, I will just sit there and fucking destroy that thing. Yeah, just like Skittles, you know. Oh my God.
Yep. I stopped myself from even buying it because
candy in general is just over. Like my weakness.
Oreos, done. Give me a glass of milk and I'll just down them.
At least with Oreos, like, you have like an ending as far as like the sleeve, so it's like
you can stop at the sleeve.
Like you have like an ending point. And so it's like, okay,
you either push yourself to do another sleeve of Oreos, or you stop at one. But there's no in between there. It's one or the whole pack.
Yeah.
Man, I saw they actually have Oreos now. It's just the fluff, like just the middle part.
Is that even an Oreo, or are you just buying like a whipped cream container of fluff?
That doesn't sound half bad.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
We need to get off food.
Yeah, I agree, because we're gonna like go. Yeah, we're gonna destroy something.
Probably Taco Bell by the time we're done with this.
How dare you?
I'm just saying, small town Ohio, there's not much open past 11.
It's pretty much T-Bell and that's it. But okay, what's another topic then? Yeah, do this. The spied cow. It's hitting the spot.
Yeah. No. It's I see what you did there. It was a little slow. I might be a little drunk. This is good beer. Our first 90.
Wow.
I mean, I think that
I wasn't expecting it this soon. It's just like it hit all of the points.
Yeah,
it just hit everything, and like that was just like I say, like other than the design, the label design. I mean, if you live in Wisconsin, you haven't tried this yet. Then
what's wrong with you?
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta do it. It's so cheap.
If you live in Wisconsin and you haven't tried this, I want you to go try it. Yeah. And then I want you to take the other 5 out of the 6-pack and mail them to me so that I can keep getting them. Because honestly, like, right now, this is my favorite beer.
Yeah, it's so good.
And you can't beat that price. I mean...
Honestly, I think that's what puts it over. Like, it would have been... If it was $10, right? If it was, like, our average... I just think that it would be, it'd be in the 80s, and it'd be a good beer, right? That'd be amazing. But the fact that the value is so good, like, it puts it into the 90s.
Yeah, I would agree. Even if it were $10, and I mean that's
still not bad.
Yeah, $10. I mean, there's plenty of room to work with there. At $10, this is still a really good beer, and it's still going to be a solid 83.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm impressed. And I'm out. So, it's time to get to the last one.
Let's do it.
And we're back.
Yep.
So this week the FDA passed some laws on e-cigarettes, and
really?
They banned them for anybody under 21. I think is what it is.
Really?
Yeah. Which personally, I think that's a good idea because I don't think there's been enough testing on them. In terms of whether or not they're dangerous. I know they're not as dangerous or as chemical filled as cigarettes are.
Yeah.
But they still have nicotine in them, and we don't know the potential side effects of smoking of them are.
Yeah.
Vaping of it.
Basically what I've heard is that yes, they are better than cigarettes, but being better than cigarettes is a pretty low bar to set. And so, it's just, you kind of got to take it with a grain of salt. That, they are better. So if you are smoking cigarettes, it's better for you to go to vaping. But vaping isn't a healthy thing to do. Right. Especially because we don't know all the effects. Obviously, we know a lot more of the effects of nicotine and how it's addictive, and the issues with becoming addicted to now potentially vaping. That's obviously
what's weird about it is with cigarettes, you don't really hear about middle schoolers smoking cigarettes very often, but there's actually a decent percentage of younger kids that are vaping in middle school, which to me just blows my mind. So that's where I think that this law is good, because I don't think anybody in middle school should be vaping, smoking, drinking, having sex, whatever. But that's just, it just blows my mind that there's an actual large percentage of middle schoolers that do vape.
Well, it's I know that a big issue that they had was if I remember right, the company Juul was really called out for it, even just because they're kind of the biggest one out there right now.
But their devices are actually just how they look. I mean, they look like a flash drive.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Was that
so you could have one of those on that and get search and to somebody who's, hell, even our age, 27, might look and be oh yeah, that's just a flash drive at quick glance.
Yeah, because we don't vape, and I've never seen a jewel like in real life. Like I've never had it in my hand or anything, so I wouldn't know what to look for it. Honestly, if somebody did walk up and be like, "Hey, here's my flash drive," I would be like, "Oh, that's like a nifty looking flash drive," and I would just, yeah, okay, that's what it is. Yeah, so it's really easy for kids to like have it on them. They can take it out, it's like empty your pockets. It's like, yeah, all right, here you go.
That's just my flash drive.
Yeah, it's like
16 gigs, motherfucker.
Yeah. I'm surprised that there aren't like a company that has like little stickers that you can purchase that say like 16 gigs and shit, and like
I bet you it's out
there.
Stick
that on your jewel.
Stick that on your jewel and
there you go. Anybody had any doubts? It has like the Samsung logo and all that, but yeah, I just know that especially because like they don't look like, they're really easy to like pass off as like like you say, a flash drive, and like, yeah, kids are able to just get them, and there's like no consequence for them, because it's so easy to get away with, and so kids will try to get away with as much as they can, and when it's so easy, it's tough to expect them not to do it.
Fucking kids these days, dude.
Little shits.
I think that's how we know we're getting old.
Right? Like, I don't know. Because, like, I mean, just like the culture now of like what kids are into and like what, I think we see a lot more through like who we make famous. I don't want to like constantly go back to like fame and everything, but like, a lot of people really like kids made Jake Paul, Logan Paul like famous. And I don't know what that says about kind of quote unquote kids today, but I don't know. I don't know. Do you think that they would be popular when we were kids? I mean, I don't know.
That's tough.
To a degree, I kind of think maybe, but at the same time, like,
I don't, because I think a lot of people that are, experience shapes us. So I know a lot of people our age now see people like Jake Paul and Logan Paul that are like, these guys are freaking idiots.
Yeah.
Why are they famous? But that's not to say that 10 years ago, we wouldn't have been watching and be like, these guys are hilarious.
Yeah, for sure. Like we would have just like, yeah, we know like they're kind of pieces of shit, but that's why we enjoy them. Yeah. I mean, like, even for us, like, I know we used to watch like Philip DeFranco when a long time ago, he was like, I don't know, he just wasn't as good or as professional as he is today. Mm-hmm. But we loved him even back then. So it's like, I know that we have changed, and the things that we like, the standard that we want people to be at has changed. So who's to say that we wouldn't have seen Jake and Logan Paul and been like, those guys are fucking savage. They're so crazy. I mean, they'll do anything.
I would say our generation helped make like the Real Housewives famous, Kim Kardashian famous.
For sure, Kim Kardashian and the Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
And which, like, really what's the difference between them?
Exactly. And so in a way, I think we probably would still idolize the same people that kids now are. We're probably just as to blame.
Yeah. It's a weird realization to be like, yeah, kids are still pieces of shit, and we used to be kids, and
so in a way, we're pieces of shit too.
Yeah, like, we would have done the same thing. Everybody wants to think of themselves as like, oh, I wouldn't have made those mistakes that somebody else did, but it's like, in reality, probably would have.
Yep.
We were just dumber back then, and people that are kids now are dumb then, but
those man, I'm old moments.
Yeah.
Priceless. I had one the other day. So in like Facebook Messenger and even in chat, you can send GIFs. And for the longest time, like, so you could search, like I could put in a keyword or whatever for a particular GIF I wanted, and send it. And my GIFs were on point. For some reason,
your GIF game was
solid. My GIF game, my GIF game was great, but for some reason I forgot how to search for GIFs, and so then I was limited to like the pre-suggested. This is what's trending GIFs, and then the other day I like figured it out again, and I was like, oh my god, like I can still search for GIFs. And I was like, wow, like I bet you my 3-year-old niece knows how to do that. Like,
yeah, right.
It's ridiculous. I mean, kids nowadays, like I literally watched my 2-year-old nephew, like he was watching cartoons with my dad this morning.
Yeah.
He knew to hit the play button on the screen to start the cartoon.
That's insane to think about.
He's not even 3 years old.
Yeah.
Doesn't have his own smartphone, and like knows that to get the cartoon to play, I have to hit the play button.
You know, something that's kind of interesting though is that like we do think of that as being like insane, that they know they can look at a play button and they know what that means, and they know what's going to happen if they were to touch it. We think of that as being like ridiculous, but I have heard of like even children like as young as 2, even like children young as 1, like they are able to have like independent thoughts, and they know more about the world than what they can actually say. And so one thing I've heard is that people will teach their children sign language because they'll pick up on how to sign like apple before they're able to say apple. And so
super genius babies,
right?
Ooh.
But it's kind of crazy to think that like a kid would be able to like know sign language and be able to communicate with you a lot earlier than we ever thought that they could. And so like to a degree I think that we think that like them understanding that is like absurd because we were never taught like sign language and how to communicate at 1 year old as a 1-year-old, you know. But like the more that we see, I don't know, maybe kids are smarter than we ever really gave them credit for.
That kind of makes sense.
They weren't able to like talk to us, but they knew what was going on.
That sign language thing kind of makes sense because in a way, so like if you're teaching a baby how to talk,
yeah,
you can't really show them like what your tongue's doing in your mouth, but with sign language you can show them exactly how the hand is positioned, and like they know how to move their hand, so they could mimic the shape that your hand's
it's
making,
a lot more clear
versus like they don't exactly know how to form a sound with their tongue because they can't see the tongue. They have to kind of figure that out for themselves by saying words and kind of remembering feeling.
How do you tell somebody how to make an R sound without using words? Because the baby can't understand like what you're saying.
They should figure it out and then teach Cardi B. All she knows how to do is roll her R's.
Goddamn Cardi B.
I love Cardi B. Like,
really?
I do. Like, I love her music.
Have you ever heard her speak?
I can't stand watching interviews with her though. Give me one of her songs any day.
It's so ridiculous.
But she is just ridiculous in person.
Yeah, it's the most absurd thing you'll see. It's just Cardi B trying to form sentences.
I found a video on Facebook the other day, and like I watched it the first time and I was like, oh, somebody just like put a bunch of like voiceovers over Cardi B footage. No, like that's legit audio of Cardi B, and it's.
See, do you think that kind of shit is like an act, or do you think that that's actually the person? Because like, I always thought that like. I'm gonna forget her fucking name. shit, she came out with the song Anaconda.
Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, Nicki Minaj. Like I always thought she was like pretty like kind of on that same level of like kind of stupid and like in her interviews and like just like wasn't really all there.
I think,
but it's like, I think over time she's like actually become more smarter.
More smarter.
Yeah. See. Anyway, I definitely think that she's. I don't know, but so then it makes you think like, there's no way at like 30 you're like, or I don't know how old she was when she like became famous, but there's no way like you went from there and like all of a sudden now I'm gonna get an education.
I think part
of
it is
clearly that had to have been like some sort of an act.
I think part of it is living up to the persona.
Yeah,
you have this idea of what people think of you, and so you try to fit that.
Yeah,
and so like Nicki Minaj right now, like she really plays up the badass queen bitch kind of vibe, and I mean that's what she portrays in everything.
It's her
she
brand.
Does. Yeah, exactly. That it's her brand, and you don't want to stray from your brand, otherwise you become irrelevant. I actually,
well, like, I mean, well, you go.
While we're talking about like these like hip hop and rap artists, like all these new ones that like I don't even like. Little Yeezy or I don't even know all their names, like because they're all just out there. The ones that look like 90s Care Bears with all the tattoos on their face and shit.
Fucking Tekashi 6ix9ine and shit.
There you go. Okay,
but dude, like he has like fucking I don't even know how many tattoos he has, but of like just the number 69, like all over him. He has fucking tattoos on his face and shit. And he
Juvenile
has rainbow hair.
But it's like.
He's not a juvenile. That's even worse. Is that I'm pretty sure he's like a fucking adult, and like
it's kind of funny, and like no, like I get it. They're famous. They make a lot more money than I do, but I find it a little humorous. Like you have these young people or whatever that are coming into the game now. The younger generation loves them.
Yeah,
and then you have the rappers that have been in the game for a while, so like Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, I mean Eminem, kind of Kanye.
Yeah,
they're like so. I don't want to say desperate because like they can come out with an album that's complete shit, and I'm not saying they have. I'm just saying they could, and just with their name on it, it's gonna sell millions. It's probably gonna go platinum strictly because of their name on it.
Yeah, for sure.
But they want to be associated with this younger crowd, and so they're like, feature me on a song.
Yeah.
I mean, what was the one that Kanye just came out with?
I have no idea.
That like,
I can't remember the name of it.
Such a fucking hoe. I love it. Like that song is ridiculously catchy, but it's stupid as fuck.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like. It's become more and more about being like hyping yourself over actual talent. I don't know where it really came from.
Maybe that's what we need to do on this podcast. Just hype ourselves up because we have no talent.
Turn into hype beasts and just wear fucking Supreme shirts. And
if anybody out there wants to hype us, go for it.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't know, like it's more about showing off your money than like actually having talent to get it. And like I don't know where they're actually getting their money. I feel like a lot of it is like they get a couple $1,000 and so then they go to the bank and get it all in ones and then they start throwing it in the air and it's like, yeah, look how fucking rich I am. And it's like, dude, like come on. Like I don't know, it's just $1,000 in fucking 20s looks like a decent amount of money, but
I mean, I'll take $1,000 in 20s.
Well, but it's like you're not buying a fucking like Maserati with a fucking $1,000, but they can sit there and like fucking act like they're like really rolling in it, and like they really don't have that much, and like.
But then eventually they become famous enough because they act like that then they can.
Then they get deals, and then it's like, oh yeah, okay, well, you're now all of a sudden an influencer, because you have
That's
a million
that
followers.
I would love to like get into that, an influencer. Like the fact that that's even, I mean, that's a job now.
Yeah,
that's just, you get paid to influence people, to try to like, you build other people's brands, you hype up other people's brands. Like, I don't know, that's crazy to me. Like
it's like
that people can be influenced so much just by like,
your entire job title is
like
just
you said,
to like
hype beasts.
Yeah, well, I mean that's really all they are. Is just like, dude, I fucking love I don't know, this fucking clothing company or something. It's like, everybody go check it out, and it's like you have all these kids who just like follow whatever this person says, or at least that's the perception, is that like,
but I think it's true. I mean,
I don't know, like, do you think that like kids though are like following what, I mean, I guess like they have to be.
I don't think kids know what the fuck they're doing in the first place.
I think they just do whatever they're told.
They see
they're
some famous person.
Yeah,
they see some famous person say, "Oh, go buy this lip gloss," and they're like, "I don't know if this is the best lip gloss or the most expensive or the cheapest, but Kim Kardashian says I need it."
Yeah,
and they have to have it. I mean, Kanye West. I mean, and I don't want to make this like a bashing podcast on Kim and Kanye, but I mean, like, Kanye comes out with some like ridiculous looking clothing line, charges a stupid amount for a t-shirt that you could get at Costco for the same, like, half the price.
Oh yeah.
But it's Kanye's shirt, so like now it's worth more, and we have to pay $1,000 for a ripped t-shirt. Like,
yeah.
And then people go out and buy it because it's Kanye's. Who the fuck cares?
Can we all agree that Yeezys look like dog shit?
I don't know if I've ever seen a Yeezy, but sure.
Like like his shoes.
Yeah. I've heard of them. I don't think I've ever.
You've never actually seen them?
No.
Yeah, dude, they're fucking stupid. Like, I've heard that they're comfortable, but like, there's a lot of shoes that are comfortable. Like, I can't imagine that like.
I've never been
$100 pair of shoes is like that much more comfortable.
I've never been a sneakerhead.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Oh my god, like shoes, like are ridiculous because people will spend outrageous amounts of money for things that a lot of people think look stupid. But it's all about
in that community though, and
like,
it's the rarity of it.
Yeah, well, it's more about having it than like what it looks like or anything like that. Yeah, like you say, it's the, or wait, I don't know. Yeah, it's like the rarity of it that being exclusive is more important than actually having something that you like. That
whole culture, it's crazy. So I used to work with a couple guys that were really into sneakers, and it's just, I mean, they can barely wear the shoes because if you wear them to a certain point, like all of a sudden they're not worth anything.
Yeah.
And so you have them just for show, but they're still like, I mean, they're very sought after shoes, and like they're talking like this is the same pair from like the 90s. Just to own them is an accomplishment, and like it's crazy though, and like. I'll admit, like, so the Jordans and stuff, like, there are a couple pairs that look really awesome.
Yeah.
And especially in that community, like, I don't know, it's a crazy subculture that I'm just like, wow. Like, all over shoes.
I'll like never be
I'm like, all right, just, but I've never spent over $100 on a pair of shoes.
I don't think I have.
And I mean, I can look at a pair of Nikes like, yeah, cool. I bought my Adidas last year, and because like growing up, I was like, oh, I have to have that pair, and that's probably the closest I've ever been to that feeling of a sneakerhead subculture. Right. Where I was like, oh yeah, I've always wanted those. Now I should go buy them.
Yeah. Now I have the money.
Have you checked out any Black Friday ads?
No, I haven't. That's like one thing. Like this year, I haven't even like tried to keep up with it.
No.
Yeah, no. I mean, there's a few things I want to look for, but I don't know. Like I remember, like back in the day, like
see that's
that
one
was
of,
like
that's
the
one of those
shit.
old things. That's one of those old person moments right there.
Right.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, dude, we used to like we knew Thursday night we were gonna go out to fucking Walmart and like check out everything before it all released, and we're gonna be there all night. And like now it's like I'll just order it online.
So I used to do Black Friday with my mom and my aunt, and it was one of those you were out in the cold at 3 a.m. on Friday morning when it was actually on Black Friday, waiting to get in to get the good deal. And it's like, it was interesting. Like last year, a lot of places actually did where you could order online and either pick up it at the store.
Yeah.
Or have it just shipped to you. Didn't even have to go out. You could do it. It would go live at like 5 o'clock on Thursday. Do it all on your phone real quick, and you were done. It was actually,
with that.
it was sweet. Because like last year, I did a lot of shopping at Best Buy. I knew I was going to go out on Black Friday anyway, so I just had it shipped to the store.
Yeah.
Ordered it on Thursday, went to the store on Friday, picked it up. I had it in my hands after like maybe a 15-minute wait. At Best Buy, I was going to get a movie. and I was like, all right, I'm going to get this movie. The line at the store was like from the front, like wrapped front to back like twice.
Jesus Christ.
And so I was like, yeah, I'm just not going to get this. Like, it wasn't worth it. But the fact that
I'll
I
just
could
pirate it.
right? So just the fact though that I could order it the day before and just have it shipped to store, like that's how I'm probably gonna do most of it. Like Walmart does that now.
Yeah.
This year, a lot of places are actually having their Black Friday sales actually start before Thursday. Like you could go in there like on Tuesday and you get the Black Friday deal. So like
I was just about ready to say like we're gonna have like Black Friday on like the Tuesday before,
right?
And like that to me is like so fucking ridiculous. How like, I mean, but then again, it's like because Black Friday has become so insanely popular, and there's every single year there's these like stories of like, or not even stories, it's like video evidence of like people being pieces of shit that are like stealing shit from children and like fucking like trampling people. There's like people who get hurt. Like I don't even like. I'm pretty sure there's usually deaths like because of it. Like,
there's no greater joy than stealing the last Lego set from a 12-year-old.
Well, I mean, yeah. What? We're not American anymore. Like, but it's just, man.
I'm all for moving it. Like I like Black Friday. I'm all for having Black Friday on Friday.
Yeah.
Like have people stand in line still, like, or just put it all online, or do it on the Wednesday. I like having Thursday free for family and football.
Yeah.
But
any other day is fine.
Yeah. I don't know. It's starting to get to that point though where it is easier. Like I like having it online. It's a lot easier. Just go on my phone, order everything. I mean, now you can actually have everything in your cart. The sale goes live. All the prices change. You hit pay. You're done.
Yep.
5 minutes.
That's it. Yeah, and you just got some of the best deals, of the year, and you didn't have to move. Like, that was it. Yeah, I mean, it used to be that, like, in order to get that deal, you had to, like, go out of your way. You had to really want it. Mm-hmm. And, like, yeah, anymore, it's just...
I remember going... Really and this wasn't even that long ago. This was probably, like, 5 years ago, maybe, where I wanted to get a ladder for my dad for Christmas. Okay. All right. And so I go to Lowe's and I stand out in the cold because they wouldn't open the doors until I think 6 a.m.
Jeez.
So I actually got there at like 5. I was like third in line. And they gave out a map of the store so you knew where the big deals were. And I remember at 6 o'clock, doors open and sprinting back to get they only had 3 of the ladders in stock. Because that's the other thing they do on Black Friday is they say, oh, here's this doorbuster. Surprise, we only have 3 of them.
Yeah, for sure.
So there was this really good deal on a ladder. And the doors open. I sprint back there. I literally get the second one out of 3. And it had only been 30 seconds since the doors had opened.
Yeah.
So, like, it was just insane. Like, and I love Black Friday for that thrill. Like, knowing that you get a good deal, but then also there's, like, that competition with other people.
Well, it's like competition. There's, like, a sense of danger because it's like, am I going to have to fucking fight this guy for this ladder?
You might have to fight
like,
an old lady for something.
I will fuck you up for this ladder right now. This is, like, fucking 75% off for some shit. I've got to
have this.
Like, yeah.
But now it's almost too easy. Now that it's more organized, which is, I mean, it's good for safety, but it's not as thrilling for those enthusiasts, if you will.
See, that's the thing is, like, for me, yeah, I'm all about, like, I'll order it online, just ship it to my house. I'll wait for it, and then, like, Saturday comes along, I'm sitting there on YouTube fucking watching all of the videos of, like, people getting trampled, fights at Walmart, just, like, white trash, just going at it, America. It's just, man, it's so ridiculous to me, though, that this, like, spectacle, and it's, like, we're the only country who does this. Like, nobody.
Are we?
Yeah. Like, I don't think there's any other country that has Black Friday. Well, yeah, because no other country has Thanksgiving. Like, Thanksgiving is our holiday, so, like, it doesn't make any sense to have Black Friday. But yeah, like...
I never really thought of that.
Like, we're the only ones who does it, and, like, it's, like, the worst of the worst. It's, like, the worst type of, like, capitalism. Just, like, all thrown into one day. And, like, at least now they're starting to try to kind of, like, spread it out.
I've seen a lot more stores this year that are, keeping to the we're closed on Thanksgiving or we're opening later on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And I like that. I do. I firmly believe let's move it back to Friday.
Yeah.
Like, you can have your Thanksgiving dinner. You can get up at the ass crack of dawn on Friday to go get your fucking deals. You want that flat screen for $100. Good on you, but you're going to go earn it.
Better bring your brass knuckles. And willpower.
Survival of the fittest. So, and with that, we are out of beer.
Yeah, dude.
So I think that's a wrap on this episode. I want to thank Danielle and Deb Carey of New Glarus, Wisconsin Brewery. This is some fine-ass beer.
It was.
You guys keep up the good work.
Yeah.
So,
all right, well.
Until next time, this is the Beer Den Podcast. I'm Michael LaRoe.
I'm Ethan Hoopy.
You guys have a good week.